Well, hey there, folks. This is Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees. Welcome back to my bee yard here in Southeast Louisiana. Remember, guys, I always say this, but I haven't been saying it as much lately. This is not a how-to video. It's a how I do video. Just document my season and document little things I do here and there in hobby beekeeping. All right, so I came back out here today. I'm hot. I'm sweaty. It got to 85 today. But I've been working hives at home all day. Just going through everything again, kind of making sure where we're at. Getting more splits set up, more excluders in. Going to be putting in more queen cells tomorrow. The rest of them I'm going to build up and pull NUCs off of to keep them from swarming best I can. And I got plenty of other hives that are building up from singles. So I've been doing that all day, and it didn't take you long because it's the same thing over and over, and actually it just gets mundane because I'm working and I can't really, you only have half a day to get it all done, and I can't really operate the camera quite as well and give you a decent video. I can't give you the good views and everything. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. The only thing I did see out of the ordinary, and it's not out of the ordinary, but it surprised me, was hives only 2 weeks ago that I thought weren't going to do that well, or weren't doing that well rather, that I might have to really feed up. They absolutely exploded. There's a lot of clover and stuff. That's what I'm thinking we got going on. So anyway, I'm going to come out here, and I figured I'd bring y'all along since you were here when we did the split, and I had premature queen cells, but I went ahead and split anyway because we had really tough weather coming in, and I didn't want to wait till after the weather while they finished them, and as soon as the weather cleared for them to swarm if I could get to them. And of course, we moved the little one into the NUC box, so we want to check on that queen with 2 frames of bees and see what they're doing. But I'm looking around here, and the dewberries are blooming all along the bank. Blackberries are behind them. We got clover all over. I mean, there's plenty of nectar out here. So we're going to take a look-see at these, and figure I'll bring you along for those two, and we can follow up on that. That's something y'all were with me for, so let's follow up on that. I know the ones at home are exploding. These were already growing faster than the ones at home, so I don't know what we'll find. But we won't know until we open them, so let me get busy. All right, folks, I already looked at the other hive, and I stirred them up for you so you can hear them in the microphone. That hive's growing into the second deep pretty well. Here's where we want to see. The only reason I put this second deep on was because there was so many bees in here. But we don't know if we've got a laying queen yet. At all, even. But I'm going to get an extra queen cell tomorrow. That way I know if I don't find one here, I can just put that queen cell in here. So let's start looking at what we got. I would think she should be, if the cells matured, see what they're doing in here, putting nectar away, she would have already been mated by now. But because the cells were probably 3/4 the way built. Yeah, filling in nectar and pollen for now. And that's the old drone brood. Oh, there's a cell right there. There's a cell right there. So maybe they didn't make one yet. There's 2 cells right there. Okay? So we're in business. Not going to jostle them around much. We're going to leave them alone, and see if they'll make a queen. I'm going to pull this top box and I'm going to look in the bottom really quick. Let's do that. Let's see what we got on the bottom. We had some cells down in the bottom, but we had none on the bottom. Okay. Don't want to jostle. Be real careful. But shoot, they're probably 10 days or so old. So. What I want to look for is about the 4th frame in is where those other cells were. And I'm wondering if they just didn't use them. So 3. I've never really done that where they're premature and I left them, but I kind of had no choice with the weather. So Alright, there's an old one. There's an old cup. Remember, these got smashed. One of them did. So I'm wondering whether they just didn't survive. Maybe they both got damaged and I didn't realize it. So we're gonna, let's see if we got cells now. So we need to wait. Oh, 6, 5, 11. At least, wait at least 2 weeks. There's another cell right there. That's it. So, all right, that's all I need to see. Plenty of brood gonna come out. Our numbers are gonna remain where they need to. That's all the brood that was capped. Look at that. Hated to lose that queen, so I'm glad we caught this thing before it swarmed. She's at the house, starting another colony. So let's carefully put this in. Slide it on over. We got queen cells, and we're going to leave it at that. So we got to wait 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks. Alright, let's get them back together. Don't want to jostle too much, but they're right at the 10-day mark. They're very fragile. After 10 days, you're usually good. Ooh, we got the bee stirred up. Well, that's good. At least we got set. Ow! Goodness gracious! I squashed one between my sleeve and my between my arm and my chest. That hurt. Hey guys, I'm doing a real quick clip here. This video that you're watching right now was actually shot before the next one was actually put on YouTube. Well, however clear as mud that is, bottom line is, the last time that I showed this nuke that we're getting ready to show here in just a second on this video, I want to go ahead and put this clip in about it because I got a lot of comments on that thing about inserting brood into that. Why I didn't insert brood? Couldn't I have inserted brood in it to build it up? And I answered all those comments, but I just want to go ahead and say it now before we get to this one, in case I have those questions again. Here's the deal with that hive. I did not put brood in it because when it went in the winter, it went in with food and with bees. Not a ton of bees. After I did go back and look at the notes, not a ton of bees, but I'll tell you more about that hive. But the thing is I've gotten to where in my operation, I don't just insert brood into a hive that just started failing for no reason whatsoever. If it was a hive and I had a good idea of what was going on, maybe it swarmed, it was being built back up, there were certain issues with it, with a split, or it went queenless for a while because of something I did, or a split that happened, or a cell that didn't take, then that'd be different. I most definitely would boost it up. But to go in the winter and be treated the same as all the others, they all got treated, they all had food, everybody had everything, and everybody else came out, with the exception of my #1 hive, which is #1, not the #1 hive. It's always weak. I need to requeen it. But with the exception of that one, everything came out strong and fine, and this one dwindled to nothing for no reason whatsoever. Not sure why it dwindled. We don't know why it dwindled. Could they be sick? Could the mites have already vectored a virus to them before they were treated? I don't know. So what I've learned over the years in my operation is I got so many mutts and mixes that I don't know the genetics all the time on them. I don't know what's going on. It could be an inferior hive, it may be an inferior queen, whatever the case. I'll let them figure it out on their own. I'm not going to waste resources. I forget his name. He brought up a good point. He's like, hey, but this is the best time. There's plenty of resources to go around. Well, there sure are, but it's just something I don't do. I don't prop up or nurture hives, because what I have found is if I have to prop them up and nurture them, I end up doing that the whole year. When I was new, I would do that to save any hive I could. But right now, I don't want those genetics in my yard. They're not producing drones, so I'm not having to worry about those genetics getting spread all over the place. And I don't really want that in my yard. We have nectar, we have warmth, they have bees, they have a laying queen. If they're healthy, they'll come back on their own. And I don't have to have them come back soon. They can spend the whole year coming back on their own. And if they showed me that, then I know they're a solid hive. I don't think they're going to be, because I did go back in my notes to take a look, and that hive had a lot of trouble last year building up. And when it finally did build up, we put one super on it, I believe, maybe two, maybe one, I can't remember. But what it did was, after it produced some honey, I had to pull that honey because it weakened up on its own again. It just completely weakened up. No swarm or anything like that. It just started going downhill again. Had to pull the honey to save the honey. And if you go back, I got a video on that where I was saving honey by pulling it off a hive, because the hives were weakening up. It would have been overrun. They have to come back on their own and prove themselves to me. I know that sounds cruel and inhumane, but you got to remember, I got different genetics. This is not like some of the big commercial guys you see on YouTube, and you know who they are. I watch them. They're brilliant beekeepers, and they'll boost up hives, but you got to remember, they're boosting up genetics they know they have. They do all their own queen graftings. They make their own queens. They produce their own queens. They buy breeder queens. You know, they know what is across their yard, and they equalize their yards. And so they know what they have. And if they see a weak hive, they'll boost it up by equalizing everybody. This is like a frame of bees if you put them all together in total. And I'm not going to boost them up. She's putting eggs in and she's putting brood in. Again, if they're healthy enough to make it, they'll make it. So I just wanted to preempt that before we go on with the rest of this video. That video was shot about 8 days ago, and that's just how I do them. I'm not gonna prop them up. I've given up nurturing hives through an entire season, probably about 4 years ago, because it just wastes time and resources. And really, I don't want an inferior hive or the genetics in my yard. The most I would do for them is if they build up, since they've had a rocky road before this, the most I'll do for them is I might possibly requeen them with some of my cells, or a swarm cell I may see from a good hive. Then I might possibly requeen them and get them back on the road. There you go. Let's carry on with the video. Just want to put this in there real quick and let you know how I felt about it, so we don't have to worry about going through all that in the comments again. Alright guys, I'm off to a bee meeting. Alright guys, so I started on the NUC, forgot to press the record button, but I got a frame of honey out of it. And there's still only a couple frames of bees at best, and really not even a couple frames. It's only half a frame, but this one's got the brood on it that she had put in there. I'm gonna see if there's any eggs in here. So the video is probably gonna be grainy, guys, because it's getting dark. I've been working all day on bees, and I just came out here last of all. But let's see if we can see our queen again. Yeah, there's her other patch. She's gonna have some bees coming soon, but she's not putting any more in. It's so small. And I don't want to feed them and get them robbed out, because they're bringing in nectar. There's nectar right there. There's the queen on top. Goodness, she's on top of the frame. So she's here. She's tiny. Look, she has eggs. Not many, but she's got some, it's hard to see, but she's got some eggs around the bottom here. I'm sure she's got a few on the other side. So we'll just leave her be. They got nectar coming in. So they got a few foragers out there. We're just gonna let her alone. They got honey. And see if I got a piece of wood I can stop up their entrance a little bit. So what I like to do is give them a little entrance reducer here when they're this small. It's hot, but at the same time I need them to have less air entrance to guard, and they'll be okay. It's not so hot that they're gigantic and they'll overheat in there. They'll ventilate that. Alright, I'm done. It's getting dark. It's time to go eat. Got everything set up for tomorrow's splits. Got all the inspections done. Everybody's looking good and growing, just like we need. Alright folks, well, I'm done here at the pond, and I just want to take you those two that we did on another video, so you could follow up with me and see where they're at. The NUC is really small, but she is putting in eggs. All the brood over the last week and a half has been capped, so I mean, there was some fresh nectar in there, and there's a frame of honey that hadn't been robbed, so I put an entrance reducer just in case, because things are building up, but they shouldn't start robbing at this point. I'm looking around. Look, I want to show you. Look at all the clover and dockweed. Trees are blooming, and it's hard to see, I know, because it's dark. Sun's setting, but you can see there should be no reason to really rob, and there's nectar coming in. And frankly, at the house, it just seems like there's a ton of nectar coming in. So anyway, they shouldn't be robbed, but they were so small and just a little patch brood. So let those bees emerge, and it just takes a while. I mean, every 3 weeks for a cycle of bees. So, you know, it's going to take them a while to build up, but we've got time. You saw the split. They have plenty of bees. There's plenty of brood still to come. It's doing okay. They need to make a queen, because once that brood emerges, there won't be any replaced. But figure another 2 weeks, we should have a queen. I saw 4 cells in there, 4 good cells. Hopefully I got that one back in the bottom just fine. That's how I crushed it in the first place. So hopefully they got in there safe. They're good. Anyway, so I think we have some nice cells in there. There's 4 I counted. We just need to let them emerge out, and we'll give her 4 to 5 days to mature, and then off she goes on a mating flight. So we got a ways to go. We're not there yet, so we'll leave them alone. They got plenty of bees. We're looking good. I'm happy to see cells. Very happy to see that. We did pull that prematurely, if you remember, and you go back to that video. And by pulling it prematurely and damaging some cells, I didn't know what they were going to have to make cells, but they looked like they were finishing out swarm cells, and there were swarm cells in there being finished. So, and on that top frame, that's where we put that one back in. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all coming along. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to share this video with your friends, family, anybody just enjoys watching bees. You guys have a wonderful evening. May Lord God bless you. See y'all later.